Have a good day and welcome to the podcast of Cantus. I am Aurelio Porfiri. I remember a little more than 1 year ago, I was in Paris, France. In that trip, I want to visit many beautiful places because Paris is really full of beautiful churches, beautiful museums, beautiful monuments. Is a wonderful city. But also, in that occasion, I want to visit one particular place that is the church of Saint Nicolas du Chardonnay. For the people that do not know about Saint Nicolas du Chardonnay, this is the church of the priestly fraternity of Saint Pius X. So I go there on Sunday, and it was the time of the Holy Mass. So I go inside really a little before the beginning of the Holy Mass, and I remain until the end. And I was really amazed from what I saw there. The church was really full of people, packed with people. And there were many young people, many young people. So I don't know exactly the number of people that can be inside the Saint Nicolas du Chardonnay, but I think they were probably more than 600. And of course, everyone participated in a very reverent way to the Mass. And that Sunday, there was no particular choir or things like this. It was, I think, one of the priests that sing the Gregorian chant parts, and then all the people sing the ordinary of the Mass. So this is something that really say a lot to those people that say, oh, in the traditional mass people do not participate, blah blah blah. We know already this kind of argument. So I want to say that I understand fully the people that find refuge in the traditional mass, because the crisis of the liturgy today is really very deep, very deep. Yesterday, I have a streaming about my book on sacred music, a book that I wrote with Bishop Athanasius Schneider and with musicologist Guido Milanese, and we were really talking about this big crisis that affect the Catholic liturgy in the church, and there are no signs that the crisis can be solved very soon. So I really understand the people that go to the traditional Latin Mass. I think that we are also to see what are the dangers there. And one of the danger, probably one of the worst danger for me, is when the going to the traditional mass become a sort of an ideology. We know that Pope Francis use a lot this kind of word, ideology, and he use it against people that want to follow traditions and go to the traditional liturgy. And I think this is quite unfair. But I have to say that for some people, maybe uh, this word can be applied. Not, of course, for the majority of people that go to the Latin Mass, but for some of them. And I think that in a certain way, the people that use the traditional Mass as an ideology, they are basically doing the same of the people in the Novus Ordo Mass that use the Novus Ordo Mass as also an ideology. Ah, yes, we want to go a Mass where we are being in understanding everything, and we are going forward with the history. We are not looking back. Blah 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 blah, and then you know already what they say. So uh, there is also the danger that some people that go to the traditional mass, they also do the same. Ah, yes, we go in the traditional mass because we are like this, and you are like that, because they like to judge other people and to feel better. I don't think this is the way to go to the traditional mass. I think that, of course, as I said before, uh, we understand why people choose to go to the traditional mass. The same is for me. When I go, really is a spiritual rest from the many disappointing things that sometimes I experience going to the Novus Ordo Mass. We have to understand that we go to the Mass, we are not going to use the Mass as a weapon, but we go to be in the presence of God, to listen to God, and not to force on others our ideas that are more or less correct. Our ideas about the church, our ideas about the world, our ideas about the corruption of present times. Of course, our ideas can be correct, and we are entitled to have ideas, of course. No one can deny that we have can have ideas. But going to the traditional mass does not mean that we are protesting for something, but it means that we are rediscovering a treasure of Catholic tradition and spiritual life. And that, of course, going to the mass have to be the strength for us to fight our fights. Because, of course, we have to fight our fights. That's no doubt about that. We have to fight against this woke culture, against this politically correct culture, against this craziness that is in the modern world. No one deny that in the modern world there is really a craziness, but we don't have to use the mass as a weapon, like to say, oh, we go to the traditional mass, so we are like this, and you go to the mass in your parish, and you are like that. Indeed, we have not to in a certain way uh, say not good things about our brothers and sisters that for many reasons do not go to the Latin mass, because maybe they don't know the Latin mass. Most probably they are hugely uneducated to the true liturgical spirit. You know, people, I have to say, like me, but like many others, that sometimes go to the Novus Ordo Mass and experience this kind of very disturbing liturgical abuses. We are lucky because we have a sort of liturgical education that allow us to understand that there is something wrong, but not everyone has this kind of lucky experience. The vast majority of the people that go to Mass today in every part of the world is completely uneducated to the beauty of liturgy, to the beauty of the ceremonies, to the beauty of sacred music, to the beauty of sacred art. Is not their fault. Is not their fault. The fault is, of course, the one of the church that has not educated the people in recent decades to the beauty of the liturgy and the beauty of sacred music and the beauty of ceremonies and the beauty of sacred art and so on and so forth. So we need to fight for Christian civilization, and we have to bring in the Mass the spiritual nourishment to do this. But we have always to be very careful not to use the fact that we are going to the traditional Mass to use it, as I said before, as a weapon against other people. Because in this fight, we have not enemies in the other people that are only mistaken because no one has educated them in the real beauty of the Catholic Church. Thank you very much for listening. Please subscribe, and I hope to have you in the coming podcast. Bye.